Good morning, everyone. This is Tara Sewell, internal wholesaler with Financial Markets. Thank you for joining us today. Your lines are muted. If you have a question, please reach out to your internal wholesaler after the call with any questions. The most beautiful way to start today is with a grateful heart, and we are grateful for you. Without you and your clients, our firm and the insurance companies you solicit would not be where we are today. Again, thank you. Congratulations to Wayne. He was our winner for our fall drawing. He received a Pit Boss pellet smoker. And congratulations to our runners up. Today we will be drawing for our FMI Agent $500 Amazon Christmas shopping spree, and Vice President Neil Sperling will show us a great tool for success. With 17 days left until Christmas, this is perfect timing for our FMI Agent Christmas shopping spree. For every application submitted between October 6th and December 1st, you received one ticket. You received double tickets for every application submitted with our premier carriers. Triple tickets were earned for every case submitted and placed before December 1st. One producer will win a $500 Amazon gift card, and 4 runners-up will receive $50 gift cards. Only producers who are registered and on the call at the time their name is drawn will qualify as a finalist. Today, the odds are in your favor. We have a total of 1,922 tickets in our hat. Your name can only be drawn once. And again, you must be pre-registered with your full name and present for the duration of the webinar in order to win. Before we draw our finalists, Neil Sperling will show us what's under the hood on whole life insurance. Neil?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. A big thank you to all of those on the call with tickets in the drawing. We truly appreciate your business and good luck in the drawing. On your screen, you'll see a die-cast truck. There are probably some classic car enthusiasts on the call that would be able to tell you much more about this truck, but it looks to be a replica of a 1960s Chevy stepside. Nowadays, you'll see trucks like this on the road, but likely restored to their greatness. It's a lot like whole life. From the 40s through the 70s, whole life was our go-to cash accumulation life insurance tool. It lost favor in light of the invention of universal life and double-digit interest rates in the 80s. Over the past decade, with low interest rates, whole life has seen a resurgence. And with recent legislation, it has somewhat been restored to its greatness, much like this classic truck. Before we dive into whole life, take a look at this chart. This is from the Insurance Barometer study published by LIMRA, which tracks the types of insurance products consumers report they have and helps the industry see trends over time. This specific chart displays individual life insurance ownership in the US. As you can see, life insurance ownership between 2011 and 2018 remained pretty consistent with just about a 4% swing over that time. Starting in 2019, the trend line indicates a slow decline of those owning life insurance. Strangely, during and after the pandemic, individual life insurance ownership fell to just 50%, ending in 2022. The result leaves huge opportunities for you. The time now is better than ever to be talking with your clients about life insurance. There's a drastic need for the products that you sell. So what is the best type of life insurance? Today we'll be covering whole life, as I mentioned, but what is the best product? Is it term life, traditional universal life, guarantee universal life, or whole life? Regardless of the flavor, the best policy is the one that pays a claim. The most important thing is to be sure your clients are covered, regardless of the vehicle they're using for that coverage. There are several flavors of whole life non-participating products, in other words, whole life plans that do not credit dividends, make up much of the smaller face and burial type of plans. Participating and interest-sensitive products are more so used for larger death benefits. While interest-sensitive whole life plans became popular in the 80s, there have been very few carriers manufacturing those since the late 90s, leaving the tried and true participating whole life plans to be the go-to whole life product for most of the past 50 years. And that'll be our focus on the call today. Let's look at the basic idea of permanent life insurance. For those on this call, we're probably most familiar with universal life. With UL, we look at it through the lens of the current expected mortality, expenses, and interest crediting, while knowing there are underlying guarantees. We then base the premiums on the current assumptions, and we get transparency along with a flexible premium while still being aware of the guaranteed worst case scenario. With whole life, we look at that through a much different lens. We base the premium on the guarantees. Then you have the current assumptions that flow through in the form of a dividend. So it's really the same idea, but the starting point is different. With universal life, you're starting with current assumptions and a flexible premium. With whole life, you're starting with a fixed guaranteed premium. And if the actual experience is better, the policy may earn dividends. As a result of these dividends, I would make the argument that whole life is 95% as flexible as universal life with its ability to use term blends, paid up additions, reduce paid up options, paying premiums with loans, paying premiums with surrenders. All of these options, relatively exclusive to the whole life chassis, make whole life much more flexible than it may be perceived. The Consolidated Appropriations Act, or the CAA, which was passed at the end of 2020, contained changes to the interest rate assumptions required with Internal Revenue Code Section 7702, the definition of life insurance. The interest rates outlined within Section 7702 were originally established in 1984 and had been floored between 4 and 6% until the change. In the recent low interest rate environment, those relatively high rates were making it difficult for companies to meet 7702 requirements while still providing competitive cash value accumulation. The change to 7702 had wide-reaching effects. Generally speaking, lowering interest rates means increasing both the maximum cash values and maximum premiums allowed per dollar of death benefit for a policy to qualify for tax advantage status. For whole life insurance, while the change increased maximum allowable cash values, it also increased minimum non-forfeiture cash values. For these and other reasons, whole life insurance has become a more attractive option for both protection-based sales and accumulation-focused designs as compared to those you were familiar with prior to 2021. So if you haven't looked at whole life since 2020, maybe now's the time. So let's jump into a sample illustration of a straight whole life plan. This example is of a 45 male at standard rates for $1 million face amount. The premium is $21,360 annual, and it guarantees coverage for lifetime. Looking closer, let's see how the plan works. The big story about whole life starts with the underlying guarantees. As you see, the policy has significant guaranteed and predictable cash value accumulation. Along with the guaranteed cash values is the guaranteed death benefit. If this policy never receives a dividend, it will still have significant cash values throughout the policy and pay the stated face amount upon death. Participating whole life has a lot more to the story, shown with the projected non-guaranteed values. The first column here is the dividend. As you likely know, the IRS defines dividends in participating whole life policies as a return of unused premiums. Later, we'll discuss how the dividend may be based on much more than just a return of unused premium. But staying with the illustration here, in this design, we directed the dividends to purchase paid-up additions. A paid-up addition is like a small single premium whole life policy being added to the base policy. There are no ongoing charges for the death benefit provided in a paid-up addition, and that paid-up addition has its own cash value. And the cash value of the paid-up addition is eligible to earn dividends on its own cash value, creating a compounding effect. When the paid-up addition earns a dividend, the dividend purchases more paid-up additions, and the cycle repeats. The cash value of the base policy, coupled with the cash value of the paid-up additions, are the amount available upon surrender and are also available for policy loans. Then we look at the total death benefit, which is the face amount of the base policy plus the face amount of those little single premium whole life amounts purchased by dividends. And in this case, At the end of year 15, the total death benefit has grown to over 1.2 million as a result of those dividends. One really cool thing about whole life, not found in other types of life insurance, are the non-forfeiture options. One non-forfeiture option is called reduced paid up. There's always an exit ramp on whole life. If the policy owner of this policy wanted to stop paying premiums, they could elect to have a reduced paid up policy. In this case, at the end of year 15, if the client did this, they would still have over 700,000 in coverage that would require no further premiums and would be guaranteed for life. Oh, and by the way, it would still be eligible to earn dividends. And if it does earn dividends, the death benefit would continue to grow from there. Whole life insurance is much more than a premium guarantee when dividends are involved. Anytime you see a carrier talk about their dividends on a whole life policy, they clearly state that dividends are not guaranteed. While true, in my opinion, dividends are about the most sure thing that will happen, that is not guaranteed to happen. Looking at the history of policy dividends with most major carriers, they have either never missed a dividend or only missed one or two dividends over a 100+ year history. So while dividends are certainly not guaranteed, you can expect a whole life policy from a reputable carrier to issue dividends consistently. While we can't say they are guaranteed, they're a pretty sure bet to occur. So what have dividends looked like in the past? There's only so much we can show on the screen here. So we're just going to show the past 20 years of dividends from 7 major whole life carriers. As you can see, none of these carriers missed paying a dividend in any single year shown, and the dividend rates have been quite consistent with most of the carriers, even in 2019 through 2021 with historically record-breaking low interest rate environment. All of these carriers issued a dividend and most above 5%. So which carrier looks the best to you? MassMutual has been a clear leader in this space for decades. The sample illustration shown earlier is from them also, and MassMutual has paid a dividend every single year for the past 154 years. Pretty impressive. As I mentioned before, the dividends are not guaranteed, but with a 154-year track record, I think it's a pretty sure thing. What do you think? The big story about MassMutual is, again, their dividend. As stated earlier, a dividend is considered a refund or return of unused premium. MassMutual takes a very different approach than most carriers. As a mutual insurance company, the policy owner is the owner of the insurance company, and MassMutual takes that to another level. They use their accumulated assets and income to purchase other income-producing assets, which in turn support their dividend. As we saw on a prior slide, MassMutual had the highest dividend compared to their competitors 17 of the past 20 years. How did they do that? They invested. Looking just recently, they consolidated many owned assets into Barings, which is a $350 billion global investment firm. That asset is generating revenue and supporting the dividend. They sold their Asian-based operations in 2018, but retained a 24.8% stake in the company, which continues to generate revenue in the dividend. In 2019, they sold Oppenheimer funds, in turn for a 15.7% ownership stake in the firm Invesco. They originally bought Oppenheimer funds for just $150 million in 1990. That 15.7% ownership stake in Invesco is now worth an estimated $1.05 billion. I won't go over each of these, but it's really cool that an individual policyholder can benefit from the prudent investments of MassMutual in the form of policy dividends. Here are the carriers issuing participating whole life products offered through financial markets. Ones here to note are Emeritus, Lafayette Life, MassMutual, and New York Life. Those 4 carriers offer some of the best par whole life products available on the market today. Please note the New York Life products are only available through a special arrangement and with minimum premium requirements. But in most cases, MassMutual will outshine the others. It's not a rule though. Your internal wholesaler can help you decide which carrier and product may be best for your individual clients. So is whole life just for accumulation? Really, no. Whole life can be designed to focus on protection and lower cost, or focused on cash value growth with less emphasis on the death benefit volume. By using term blends, coverage can be designed to require around 50% less premium than a straight whole life product. On the other hand, by overfunding paid up additions, an individual can fund a policy up to around double the amount of a straight whole life product and generate more dividends with lower total overall expenses in the policy, basically creating a cash accumulation tool. Also, we have many versions of whole life plans. Plans available through the various carriers we offer, we have 10-pay plans where the policy is guaranteed paid up after funding it for 10 years. We have a 12-pay plan, 20-pay plans, pay to age 65, and pay lifetime plans. Each may fit a scenario better than the other. In the interest of time, we'll take a look at two more designs. Here is the example we looked at earlier. For $1 million of coverage, a straight whole life here would be $21,360 annual premium. This is a pay to age 100 plan. How can we lower the premium for someone looking for more affordability that is not as concerned with the cash value growth and increasing death benefit provided by the paid up additions? To achieve that, we can use a term blend. Here in this example, we have a base face amount of $250,000 whole life and a $750,000 term rider. You can see the premium here is about half of the prior example, coming in at a total of $11,048 annual premium. The term rider itself is an annually renewable term rider. Now, as the base policy of $250,000 credits dividends, those dividends purchase paid up additions. As the paid up additions increase in death benefit, so too does the term rider decrease in death benefit, maintaining the same 1 million face amount. While this design will not have as much cash value as the death benefit, won't have as much cash value as the straight whole life, and the death benefit remains level, you can see it still has significant cash value guarantees. Now here's a design for accumulation. Again, the same 45 male, but rather than focusing on the death benefit protection, the design is to build cash value. To do this, we will use a smaller face amount of around $280,000 on a 10-pay whole life chassis. We overfund the policy by purchasing paid up additions. To avoid MEC, we add the smallest term rider amount to allow for that overfunded premium. So here the total premium is around $43,000. Taking a closer look, you see this is a 10-pay, and after 10 years, no further premium is required. And at the end of the 10 years, the cash value even exceeds the premiums paid, assuming the dividends are paid. And after the 10 years, the policy continues to grow through dividends. In this case, it's projected to grow to over $600,000 by the end of year 15. All while having the income tax-free death benefit that also continues to grow. I won't go over this more in detail, but if you have a case you'd like to look at with this type of design, reach out to your internal wholesaler here and they'll be glad to design a product to fit your client. So that's a quick look into the power of whole life. I think you'll agree, whole life today looks much better than it did before 2021. It's more robust, more flexible, while still delivering the underlying guarantees we expect. We also created an e-kit that contains the full MassMutual portfolio, brochures, dividend history, and plan positioning articles. Request that from your internal wholesaler and they'll be happy to get that to you. Thank you again for joining us today. Thank you for your business and good luck to those in the drawing. Merry Christmas to you all. With that, I will turn it back over to Tara Sewell.
Thank you, Neil. 154-year dividend history. That's incredible. Well, whether your client's goal is protection or cash value accumulation, whole life is an excellent option. Contact your internal wholesaler if you'd like to learn more about the whole life options available and to request your e-kit. We look forward to helping you with your next case. Now let's get started with our finalists and our producer draw. Now I've had our hat shuffling this morning. I'll do one last shuffle And we will drop these tickets into the hat for our first producer draw. Saeed Suleiman with 8 tickets in the hat. Is Saeed on the call?
And Saeed is not on the call.
All right. Remember, folks, you do have to be on the call when I draw your name. We are looking for our first finalist. Lisa Roach with 118 tickets. Is Lisa on the call?
Lisa is not on the call.
Okay, we're still looking for our first finalist. Kirby Bowden with 125 tickets. Is Kirby on today's call?
And Kirby is on the call.
Congratulations, Kirby. You are our first finalist. Now we will draw our second finalist. Wesley Watkiss. Is Wesley on the call?
Down to the W's, and Wesley is not on the call.
Okay, we are still looking for our second finalist. We'll draw again. Ross Bauer with 20 tickets. Is Ross on today's call?
And Ross is on the call.
Congratulations, Ross. You are our second finalist. Now, one of the best resources on our website is the Virtual Sales Assistant. You can find this under Agent Tools, Advanced Marketing Resources. Here you will find non-branded and branded materials for your business and personal financial planning concepts related to annuities, critical illness, life insurance, long-term care, and disability income. The next time you're on the website, take a look at the Virtual Sales Assistant in the Advanced Marketing Resource section. Also take a minute to explore other resources such as the Turnkey Sales Kit. This will surely elevate your sales process. Now let's draw our third finalist. Bring our hat back up on our screen. So far we have Kirby Bowden and Ross Bauer. We're looking for our third finalist. Art Archidiacono, 145 tickets. Is Art on the call?
Make sure he's still there, and he is on the call.
Congratulations, Art. Let's move on to our fourth finalist. Rita Musera with 29 tickets. Is Rita on the call?
And Rita is not on the call.
Okay, we are looking for our fourth finalist. Kristen Gullickson with 9 tickets. Is Kristen on the call?
We're striking out here. No Kristen on the call.
Okay, we are still looking for our fourth producer finalist. We will keep drawing. Allie Waits, 35 tickets.
And Allie is on the call.
Congratulations, Allie, for being our fourth finalist. And we're going to go ahead and draw for our final finalist. And we have drawn Kirby already. Again, your name can only be drawn once. Tom Carson with 23 tickets. Is Tom on today's call?
And Tom is not on the call.
Okay, we are looking for our fifth finalist. Grant Lane with 26 tickets. Is Grant on today's call?
I think I saw him earlier. Let's see if he's still on. And Grant Lane is a finalist.
Congratulations, Grant. So to recap, our finalists for today's drawing: Kirby Bowden, Ross Bauer, Art Archidiacono, Allie Waits, and Grant Lane.
This is getting exciting, folks. We have a lot of producers qualified and a lot on track to qualify for this 2023 fmiAgent Point Awards trip, which will take place May 4th through May 9th of next year. This is the best cruise we've ever taken. We're heading to Bermuda. The pink sand of Bermuda is the best in the world, with clear ocean beaches and the world's best scuba diving. There's a lot to see on the island, such as the Cathedral of the Most Holy Trinity, Royal Navy Dockyard, St. Peter's Church, and many Gothic style and colonial style buildings and sites to explore. We're taking the Royal Caribbean's Liberty of the Seas from the port Cape Liberty in New York, sailing to Bermuda, where the ship will dock for 2 full days to give all time to explore the island. For just $30,000 of life insurance premium or $1 million of annuity premium, or any combination of the two, you and a guest can join us for this unforgettable trip. And if you've been on our FMI Agent Point Awards trips in the past, you know we show you a great time and only hold one short business meeting so you and your guests can enjoy your well-deserved and well-earned getaway. Now, you still have until January 15th of 2024 to get your business paid to count towards the FMI Agent Point Awards qualifications for the trip. We look forward to hosting you on the Bermuda Royal Caribbean Cruise in 2024. Good luck to all of those in the drawing here today, and I'll turn it back over to Tara Sewell.
All right, we have our hat shuffling, and it's time to draw our winner for the $500 Amazon shopping spree. Shake up our hat and drop those tickets in. And the winner to Art Archidiacono for the $500 Amazon shopping spree. Congratulations, Art. And also congratulations to our 4 runners-up on winning the $50 Amazon gift card. Now, our next promotion will be starting soon, so watch your inbox for details. May you feel all the love and joy that this Christmas brings. Merry Christmas to you and your families. Thank you for joining us today. God bless.